from what I've always known of Meghan, she's not someone who's very materialistic. She really isn't. She's like, if you give her a book, she'll be happy, as long as it's thoughtful. So I don't think it'll be really hard, because she's never been the kind of girl who's like, oh, I want the newest bag, or she's just a very girl's girl. She's very down to earth, so I don't think it'll be really hard.
I think that's why people are sort of so excited about them as a couple, because not that they're rule breakers, but they seem kind of just like not what you would expect from the royals.
At all. I mean, I don't know what you expect from the royals, but I know that Meghan she's just super down to earth and really chill, and she always has been that, and she's still like that. So that's what I love about her, and that's why I think she'll be really an icon for young girls around the world.
When Priyanka Chopra described Meghan as the most simple person I have come across, you can literally give her a book and she's happy. She wasn't just offering a casual compliment, she was delivering a powerful testament to Meghan's authenticity, a direct rebuke to the British royal family's relentless, disgusting campaign to paint her as a villain. Priyanka, a global icon who's conquered Bollywood, Hollywood and philanthropy with razor-sharp intelligence and unapologetic grit, doesn't toss praise lightly. Her words carry weight, revealing a Meghan who is grounded, genuine and unshackled by the need for royal approval. If someone as discerning as Priyanka sees Meghan this way, then the royal family's narrative isn't just a lie. It's a shameful display of privilege, pettiness and prejudice that exposes their moral decay. Frankly, the House of Windsor can go to hell for their role in this travesty. Let's start with Priyanka's observation. In a world obsessed with status and spectacle, calling someone simple might seem like faint praise, but from Priyanka it's a glowing endorsement. It paints Meghan as a woman who finds joy in life's quiet, unpretentious moments. A good book, a heartfelt conversation, a moment of reflection. This is no scheming spotlight-chasing diva, as the royal family and their tabloid minions would have us believe. Instead, Meghan is someone who doesn't measure her worth by crowns or castles. She's relatable, human, and content in her own skin, qualities the royal family seems incapable of comprehending, let alone appreciating. Priyanka's words cut through the noise like a knife, exposing the stark contrast between Meghan's authenticity and the royals' manufactured venom. Now let's turn to the royal family's despicable behavior. From the moment Meghan stepped into their world, they couldn't handle her. A biracial American actress with a successful career, a sharp mind and a spine to match. She was their worst nightmare. The House of Windsor, built on centuries of control, conformity, and an obsession with untouchable superiority, thrives on sameness. Meghan, with her independence and modern worldview, was a direct threat to their carefully curated image of stiff upper-lip stoicism. Instead of embracing her as a chance to evolve, they launched a vicious campaign to tear her down. Anonymous palace sources fed the tabloids a steady stream of lies, stories of Meghan being difficult, demanding, or somehow unfit for their precious protocols. The royal family didn't need to get their hands dirty. They had an army of sycophantic reporters to do it for them. It's a masterclass in cowardice, and it's utterly revolting. Priyanka's praise of Meghan's simplicity exposes the royal family's narrative for the sham it is. If Meghan is as genuine and unpretentious as Priyanka claims, then the royals' portrayal of her as a manipulative social climber is not just wrong, it's malicious. They couldn't stand that she didn't fit their mold, that she brought a fresh, diverse perspective to their dusty institution. Meghan represented change, a chance to make the monarchy relevant in a world that's increasingly skeptical of inherited power. But instead of embracing her, they pushed her out. They let the media dissect her every move, from how she held her baby bump to her choice of avocado toast, as if these were high crimes. The audacity of these people, lounging on their inherited wealth, passing judgment on a woman who built her own success long before she met their prince. It's not just hypocrisy, it's a grotesque abuse of power that reeks of entitlement. The royal family's treatment of Meghan lays bare their true character. They're not the noble, benevolent figures they pretend to be. They're a clique of elitists who'd rather destroy someone than confront their own irrelevance. Consider their defense of Prince Andrew, a man entangled in a scandal so repugnant it defies comprehension. They shielded him, downplayed his actions, and kept him in the fold. Yet Meghan, a woman who championed mental health, women's rights, and racial equality, was labeled difficult and ostracized. The double standard is sickening. Priyanka's comment about Meghan's love for a simple book underscores the absurdity of their accusations. A woman who finds joy in reading isn't scheming to upend the monarchy, she's just living her life. But the royal family, obsessed with their own power, couldn't handle her independence. They saw her simplicity as a threat because it exposed their obsession with pomp and control as utterly hollow. The British media, the royal family's unofficial attack dogs, played a central role in this disgrace. They branded Meghan Duchess difficult, mocked her American roots, and scrutinized her every gesture with a ferocity reserved for no one else in the royal orbit. They painted her as a conniving outsider, a gold digger who somehow tricked Harry into marriage. It's a narrative so absurd it would be laughable if it weren't so damaging. Priyanka's quiet, sincere praise of Meghan's character dismantles this fiction. If Meghan is as simple as Priyanka says, then the media's portrayal is nothing but a lie, fueled by the royal family's refusal to defend her. Their silence wasn't neutrality, it was complicity. They let the headlines run wild, knowing full well the toll it would take on Meghan's mental health and reputation. It's not just cowardice, it's cruelty, plain and simple. What makes this even more infuriating is what Meghan represented, a chance for the monarchy to evolve. She brought charisma, intelligence, and a global perspective that could have breathed new life into their stale institution. Her work with charities, her advocacy for marginalized communities, her ability to connect with people from all walks of life, these were gifts the royal family could have embraced. But they didn't. They couldn't handle a woman who spoke her mind, who challenged their rigid protocols, who didn't bow to their outdated traditions. Priyanka's description of Meghan's simplicity highlights exactly why she was such a threat. She didn't need their approval. A woman who finds happiness in a book doesn't need a tiara to feel whole, and that kind of self-assurance terrifies a family obsessed with control. The royal family's campaign against Meghan also exposes their broader irrelevance. They cling to traditions that glorify a colonial past, hoarding wealth while the world demands accountability. Meghan, with her activism and authenticity, held a mirror to their fragility. She showed them what a modern, inclusive monarchy could look like, and they rejected it. They couldn't break her spirit, so they tried to break her reputation. But Priyanka's words remind us that Meghan doesn't need their validation. She's not the villain they want us to believe she is. She's a woman who finds joy in simplicity, who builds connections through kindness, not titles. The royal family, with their endless resources and influence, could learn a thing or two from her. But they won't. They're too busy polishing their crowns and pretending they're above it all. The double standards are staggering. Prince Charles, with his questionable financial dealings and political meddling, gets a nod of approval. Prince William, with his rumoured affairs and reported temper, remains the golden boy. But Meghan, who dared to speak out about her mental health struggles and the racism she faced, is the problem. It's laughable. Priyanka's comment cuts through this nonsense, reminding us that Meghan's strength lies in her authenticity, not in playing the royal game. She's not defined by their approval, and that's what makes her so powerful. The royal family's actions aren't just a personal failing, they're a symptom of their obsolescence. They represent a bygone era, clinging to power while the world moves on. Meghan exposed their fragility, and they hated her for it. They couldn't control her, so they tried to erase her. But Priyanka's words are a reminder that Meghan is thriving, finding joy in the simple things while the royal family wallows in their own irrelevance. Their campaign against her was a pathetic attempt to protect their fragile egos, but it only exposed their flaws. If Priyanka Chopra, a woman who's seen it all, can vouch for Meghan's character, then the royal family's smear campaign is nothing but a disgusting lie. Meghan's simplicity is her strength, and it's a damning indictment of a monarchy too weak to embrace her.